We bought a suspiciously cheap Google Pixel 7a, and in this video we'll open it up, test it out, and see if we got scammed. Alright, looks like we just got like a normal little white box here. Okay, that makes sense. Now this is an eBay refurbished item. It's kind of hard to say like what exactly that entails. Like, what did they refurbish? What was wrong with the phone? I don't know. It's $170 though for a phone that came out a year ago for $500. So like, theoretically this should be a good deal. Let's find out. Please open. Ugh. I got it. All right, we got a charging cable and its little brick or whatever. We'll put that to the side. All right, here's the phone. I love this packaging job. It's just in this little bubble miller sleeve, not even taped or nothing. Okay. I mean, hey, to be fair, it looks like it arrived in okay condition, so I can't really complain. All right, the first thing that's catching my eye is this little sticker here with Scotch tape on it that was taped to the back of the phone. Let me tape up some sensitive info on this thing and we'll take a look at what this thing says. All right, so taking a look at this, we have a Google Pixel 7a, 128 gigabyte GWKK3. Don't know what that means. And then under here it has grade, battery health 97%. There's no notes, there's no nothing. 97% battery life. Pretty good, pretty good. I mean, it's only a year old. I don't know how Androids do with batteries. I'm an iPhone guy, you know, an Apple stan, so, you know, I imagine that Androids explode after 9 months of usage, so I think that's pretty good. And before we move on to the phone itself, let's just take a look at this charger. I mean, I have no idea what an OEM Pixel charger looks like, but it feels fine enough. It's a little small. I mean, I imagine that this phone can use a bit of a bigger brick. At least it came with a brick at all. You know, that's a little bit of an upgrade over my iPhone. The cable though, look at that. That's a cheap cable. All right, but let's get into the meat of the video here. We gotta look at the phone itself. I'm wiping it off with a microfiber cloth just so we can give it a fair chance. If it got some dust or whatever during transit, that's fine. But I wanna take a look at the screen here and make sure there's no cracks or scratches really. I see a few like micro scratches. There's no way they're gonna show up on camera. Not the end of the world. I'm not really sure what to expect from a refurbished phone, but again, $500 new, $170, we got it, you know, eBay certified refurbished. The screen looks fine. It's a little bit dirty. There's like some, again, they're not gonna come up on camera, but there's some smudges right here next to the power button. There's a bit of grime right here next to these little speakers. On the top here is a little bit of grime, and then I can see there in the actual speakers themselves, it's kind of gross. So I don't know, you'd think they'd clean that out if it's a refurbished item, but not the end of the world. Yeah, I'd say the back of the phone looks a little worse for wear. It's just got more smudging. It's got some dirt and stuff kind of caked into the top and bottom of this little piece that rises up with the cameras. There's some scratching here. Let's go ahead and turn it on, see if it actually works. All right, we might have to plug it in, but for now, let's just turn it on, see if it has some battery still in it. Yeah, it's not turning on. All right, let's plug it in. All right, well, while we're waiting for it to wake up or whatever, just going over some of the aesthetic features and the feel and everything of this phone. I like it. Oh, there it goes. I start complimenting it. It wakes up. Look at that. Even when it's off, Google is listening to me. Power off, shutting down. I guess it needs more charge? Oh, all right. Okay, now it's turning back on. It's just gonna do this over and over again, I guess. If it shuts down again, I'm just gonna plug a bigger power brick into it. Yep, all right, let me go ahead and try that. Oh, look at that, it's actually working now. I have a Steam Deck charger plugged into it right now, and that seems to be working well. I'm typing the Wi-Fi password in this thing, and the haptic feedback, it's pretty good. And we're finally in. The setup took a little while, but it wasn't as bad as I remember it being on the Android land. So there we go, we're in, it's working. Everything seems perfectly fine so far. I don't see any like obvious issues. All right, now I'm gonna play around with the settings a little bit. Just looking in here for now, it does have 128 gigs of storage. Okay, glad that was accurate. It's so weird. I haven't used an Android phone in so long. I did not know they had like literally the same like up gestures and stuff to go home and holding it to swap your apps and stuff. It's amazing how much it just feels like an iPhone these days. So the first thing I was wondering about this this phone is if it has an OLED screen, and it definitely looks like it does, because I just pulled up like a black background on Google or whatever, and I'm looking at it now, and if I turn off the phone, the screen looks exactly the same, like there's no, you know, brightness change, like you can't see a backlight at all. So I'm just looking for anything that's like a downside for this phone so far, because I would not think that this phone would be as cheap as it is. Oh, the flashlight works. Very important. How about the cameras? And now I am testing the camera by recording the screen from the camera that I used to record this video. Also, how can it see my fingers? What the? How wide of a lens does this thing have? That's crazy. My fingers are like way down here and it's picking it up. Let me test the selfie camera real quick. That's working. Now taking a look at the actual quality of the photos, looks pretty great. Huh. And that's actually why we bought the phone. We bought the phone because it's supposed to have a really good camera for a really good price, and sure enough, that seems to be the case. We just take a lot of photos for, selling things on eBay and the website, jarobgaming.com. And it's just nice to have a phone we can leave in the office, and we don't care about having like a SIM card in for a carrier or whatever. So it's an unlocked phone, 170 bucks, I think it's unlocked. Let me check the eBay listing. There we go. Okay, figured out the catch. And this is probably the reason it's so cheap, right? It's not an unlocked phone. It's actually a Spectrum phone. But we don't really care because we're keeping it in the office. We're taking photos with it. It's not the end of the world. We don't plan on ever using the data on it. But I think it's so cheap because no one really wants a Spectrum phone. No one likes Spectrum Mobile. So it's probably the cheapest version of this you can find. If you wanted like a Verizon one, it would probably cost quite a bit more money. Oh, I didn't even have the 90 hertz mode turned on. Ooh, that's much smoother. You guys won't be able to see it, but it's really nice. That fingerprint reader is really fast too. Wow, that's really quick. How about the Face ID? Look at that, it just works. All right, I also want to test a game on this thing. I have no idea what the power level of what this thing is capable of should be, but let's just put something that looks relatively demanding on it and see how it does. Stumble Guys. Is this literally just Fall Guys? I have the screen on full brightness, and on camera it looks pretty good. I will say it looks decent, but it's not the best screen I've ever seen, so that's something you kind of miss out on. But 90 hertz, it's an OLED, it's pretty dang good. All right, I've been Stumble Guys. All right, let me see if I can find like a practice mode or something. We just play around with it for a second. I fell immediately. Why is this actually fun? Hold on. It runs pretty well. Let me test the speakers. Let me get this volume cranked. Ooh. Pretty boomy. I mean, it's a phone speaker. It's not going to be the best thing ever, but it's totally competent. All right, well, that's enough of this. That's pretty good. It's a surprisingly good version of Fall Guys for Android, I guess. All right, well, I have a few more things I want to go over, but for a second, I want to talk about this Freon phone. You might remember this. We did a video on it a little while ago. Jacob did. This is a $70 phone from Temu that's like surprisingly excellent. And the thing is, while this phone is still very good for $70, this is wild to me that you can have a phone this good for that much money, or for that little money rather. But for just $100 more, the fact that you get a phone that is top of the line as of like a year or two ago, in my opinion, I mean, this is an excellent phone. This, to me, it might be like, in terms of like, if you want like a good camera, you want a good phone, you want a decent phone experience, and you don't care about if it's on Spectrum or not, like, this is probably the best deal you can get right now on a phone. I don't know enough about what's out there and whatnot. There's probably a few other things that are pretty great too, but this thing's phenomenal. But I want to compare a few more things. All right, so the phone I actually use, it's an iPhone 13 Pro. It's a few years old at this point, but I want to compare it because I feel like these are going to be kind of similar in their performance. I want to compare download speeds over Wi-Fi. Let me try that first. Oh no, I can't download Stumble Guys for this phone. It's not powerful enough. That kind of seals the deal right there. I mean, $70, you can't play Stumble Guys. $170, you can play Stumble Guys at like 90 FPS, and it's awesome. So there you go, you know which phone to buy. All right, I got the 3 phones lined up here, and you can kind of see like, oh, I don't even have it like max brightness. There you go. Like, it might not show up on camera super well, but this phone here, the Freon, the $90 one, $70, my bad, way darker, like not even close, way darker screen than the other two, even though on camera it actually shows up all right. The iPhone is just, of course now it goes dark, whatever. The iPhone's a little brighter than the 7A, but it's pretty close. Let me go ahead and run a speed test. They're all on the same network, so they should have mostly the same connection. I'll try to do these all at the same time, best I can. There they go. Okay, well, this is unreliable and bizarre and strange. Maybe I should run them let me run them one at a time, because I feel like they're kind of stepping on each other's toes. It's not really fair. Now, how is this phone getting a faster upload speed than download? That doesn't make any sense. All right, 7A, now you have your shot. Look at that, look at that. We're going way up there. 60, we have way faster internet than this. I don't know why it's limited to this speed. Probably Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz. Whatever, that's pretty good. Now let's let the iPhone have a fair chance. It's still, yeah, seems like it's still not as good with a 2.4 gigahertz as the 7A. Now I think if we were being fair, I should probably compare the iPhone 15, not the Pro, but the 15 to the 7A. Not the 13 Pro, because the 13 Pro is a lot older. I'd probably have to compare like the Pixel like 5 or whatever. I don't know if they had a Pixel 5, but it's pretty good Wi-Fi performance. It's pretty good camera. It's pretty good everything. This phone's the dream. If you like Android, you know, it's pretty amazing. Oh, there you go. Google even knows. Look at this. On the iPhone and the Freon, your connection is fast. But on the Pixel 7a, your connection is very fast. All right, but overall, should you buy this refurbished? Is this even refurbished? It's like not even cleaned. I don't know. People have weird definitions of refurbished, apparently. Should you buy this refurbished Pixel 7a from eBay? Maybe. It's a pretty good deal. Again, you have to not care about the carrier stuff. You can't use this thing for carrier unless you're going to use the Spectrum Mobile, and who wants that? But If you just want a Wi-Fi device for 170 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong. But let me know what you guys think down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.